Okay, guys, so I know that you guys did, most of you, my session yesterday, and you got to experience what it was like from the student side, and then I was showing you the teacher dashboard as well. So I'm going to show you a couple of things in terms of the specifics of how you create a PearDeck and all of that. So the first thing you're going to need to know is to go to PearDeck.com, and when you create your teacher account for the first time, they are giving 90 days of free premium. You do not have to put in a credit card information or anything like that. Dr. Moss and Ms. Bonilla are in the process of getting our premium paid for us. It's already been approved. We're just waiting on funds and everything to drop. But that 90 days of free premium will take you up until our school account kicks in. So this is kind of what your homepage, PearDeck.com, is going to look like. The next thing you need to know how to do is how to make one. So you can open up any Google slide you have. This is what Google Slides normally looks like. This is like a positivity project Google slide I created like 2 years ago. And let's say I want to turn this into a PearDeck. So the first thing you want to do is go to where it says add-ons at the top. And if this wasn't already here, I've obviously added it. You're going to click Get Add-ons. And then you can search apps, and you can search for PearDeck and click it, and it will add itself to your add-ons. And then when there's that, it will either look like this, like a little button, or go to add-ons, PearDeck, and open PearDeck. So it's an add-on within Google Slides. It is not a separate app. It is not a separate program. So this is what my PearDeck creation looks like. I have just normal slides here. I'm going to first show you guys how to use their pre-made templates, because that's the easiest way to do this. You click on Open our template library right here on the right side, and they have some beginning, during, and end of lesson ones already for like warm-ups and exit tickets, critical thinking ones, social emotional learning. There's a lot of like fun subject areas, world languages you can click through. I want to enter in an entrance ticket, let's say. So I'm going to go to beginning of lesson. And let's say I like that this one is a text slide. What did you learn from the homework? So I'm going to click on this one. And all it does is insert it right in there for me. So I want it to be the first slide. Let me click and drag this up. So now it is automatically a warm-up. And you'll know that anything that the kids can do on PearDeck, you'll know that because at the bottom here, it'll say students write your response. This little bar at the bottom is how you can tell if it's been hooked up to PearDeck successfully. So I have a warm-up in, and let's say I want to add an exit ticket. So let me go back to templates. I'll click on end of lesson. Let's say I like this one. It's a drawing slide, circle how the kids are feeling. But let's say I want to edit their template because I don't want to do circle how you were feeling. I want to do circle how confident you feel about making your own inferences this year. That's it. You can edit any template that they have, and then the kids, this will be a drawing slide, and they can circle whichever smiley face is appropriate for them. Let's say I wanted to change my beginning warm-up slide. I could just change this to how do I make an inference. I can change any pictures that they have. So if I wanted to delete this woman from it, I can add her back. So all of their pre-made templates are fully customizable. And then you've got all of these in between. During lessons, a combination of multiple choice slides. Like if I want to add this in, it's a true, false. All you do for their templates is click and add, and then you can edit. So I'm going to show you how to edit multiple choice slides and things like this as well, because this is going to be, you're going to have to change these options, right? So on the front here, let's say if I wanted to pick between these two, I want to do option A and option B instead. I could just change it there. Pretty easy. And then it shows up on their screen like that. Any questions so far on pre-made templates and how to insert those? Because that's super easy. No? Yep. Let me show you how to make all these from scratch, which is a lot of what I did for the staff PD. And I'm going to show you the different types. So again, this is what your original add-on looks like. Instead of templates, I'm going to scroll down to ask students a question right here on the right side. So let's say I want to turn this one, it's a video with questions at the bottom here. These questions are kind of small, let me make them bigger. Let's say I just want to turn this into a text response because I want the kids to respond to these 2 questions. Easiest thing in the world, just make sure that this slide is clicked and on, and then just click text. It'll give you this little thing that it's adding it. You don't have to do anything, and it's automatically on there. Now the kids will see your slide, and they'll be able to respond in text to those 2 questions. You literally just have to click the text box. It's the easiest one. Let's say I want to turn this one into a multiple choice because the kids are learning about 3 different types, and I want them to pick which one is it, empathy, moral, or social. I click on choice. And then I'm going to add in on the kids slide, empathy, moral, social. And then update slide. And now on their screen on the right side, it'll have, just like you guys saw yesterday on the student side, empathy, moral, or social, and they click that. So again, those are super easy as well. You can add in a numbers slide. So if I wanted to say, is it number 1, 2, 3, or 4? Or if you were doing chronological order, if you wanted to say what date did World War II start, you just click number slide. Whoops, sorry. Update slide. And then the students are going to enter a number on their screen. That's as simple as that. I created a draggable slide yesterday, right, with the United States on there. So it's just going to go based off of whatever image you have on here. So let's say I want to find an image on the web like I did. Let's do a hydrogen atom for science people. Insert an image. Sorry, my Zoom stuff is in the way. Insert. I've got this on the slide. I want to turn this into a draggable because I want the kids to be able to drag their little icon to what part of the atom is the nucleus. I don't know, it's been a long time since I did science, guys, don't laugh at me. I'm going to turn this slide into a draggable by clicking draggable. You can change whether it's a dot or a fun little icon. Let's make ours a little flag. I can change the color of the flag to blue, and it kind of shows you what it'll look like on the right side here. Update slide. And now when my kids do this, they can drag their little icon on the atom. Let's say I change my mind and I decide I don't want this to be a draggable anymore. I actually want it to be a draw slide. I want them to draw on the atom. All you have to do is click on this bottom part here with this PearDeck piece, click it and hit delete. And now the PearDeck piece is gone again. And then I'm going to change it to a draw. And now it's on there. Now the kids can draw on the slide. And then the last one that I didn't show you is website. If I just want the kids to be able to get a website link, I mean, they could just click on it within your PearDeck. But if you wanted it to create a fun little like thing off to the side that's easier to see, I guess. I didn't use that at all, but that's where the website feature will come into play, and you just click website. There's also an add audio to slide, which I think is really great for our L kids and our EC kids. Or if you were doing like a student-paced PearDeck that they're going through and you want them to hear you talking through the lesson because it's not live, you could add audio to slide. And then you are literally just going to click record. And then, you know, I'll record me talking, allow my microphone, blah, blah, blah. Pause. I can delete, resume my recording or save it. I can replay it. I like that, let's say. I'm going to add that audio to slide. And then it's like in the corner here. I haven't done this one in person. I'm trying to remember from my training. I can't remember if it either has the kids, they have to press play, or as soon as they open the slide, it'll start talking. But either one, it'll be on theirs to listen to your audio, and they know that that's on there. And that's how you create slides from scratch. Again, super easy to just add on to whatever Google slide, PowerPoint that you already have excuse me, on there. Any questions on creating a PearDeck from a pre-existing or new Google slide or PowerPoint that you've made already for your lessons? Going once, going twice? Okay. Last thing I want to show you guys is how to actually start a lesson and how to start all of your new lessons and how to navigate those. Real quick, I did have a couple of requests from EC and ELL people asking, can you add a second teacher to the PearDeck presentation so they can see your dashboard at the same time virtually? We reached out to our sales manager at PearDeck, and he responded to us and said that that's the #1 thing that has been requested right now. It is not a feature they currently have, but it will be released in an update this fall, he said. So sometime this fall, you will be able to add your EC or your L teacher or a co-teacher to your same PearDeck session so that they can see all the kids' responses on their side too. But right now, it's only the teacher that's presenting that can see it.
So then, hey, Divizia, real quick,
Mm-hmm.
are we still able to somehow edit the slides, although they're not going to be on our PearDeck?
Yeah, because it's whatever you present is whatever your PearDeck is. So if you're
Cheeseman's or Drell's holding the class, she's showing her PearDeck.
mm-hmm.
If I want to add EC, let's say the audio, would she have to add it, or can I add it to her PearDeck?
You can add it to her PearDeck. Just give her, as long as you're like any other Google Doc, like any other Google slide, as long as you have access to her Google slide and you've told her in advance, you can add it to her PearDeck before she shares it.
Yeah, because all of these are in Google Classroom. They're all in our folders.
They're all in our Google Drive.
I just didn't know that it would show during PearDeck when you are using the platform.
It's whatever the teacher shares will be what's in the drive. So if you've gone in already into her drive and edited it, then when she goes to share it, it'll be on there.
It'll be there. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so this is how, sorry, go ahead, Stigal.
I was just gonna say, and so like all of the 7th grade lessons, like Miss Laporte, if for your class or whatever, you'll open up your own, like it's still the PearDeck that I made, but you're running it at that time because you opened it up from your thing. You just went into your Google Drive and got it where I had made it. Does that make sense?
Let me show you. It doesn't have to be one you created. You can present anybody's PearDeck. So if anybody,
right, yeah, that's what I'm trying to
But if she's editing it, is it going to be an issue to your PearDeck?
If it's my same, if it's my original, yeah.
But
if it's my original,
make a copy of the PearDeck.
If she's presenting to her own kids.
Yes.
Yes.
Make a copy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But if she just wants to make edits to Cheeseman's because she wants Cheeseman to show that when Cheeseman is presenting to the kids, then she can just tell Cheeseman, I'm going to go edit your PearDeck.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
But we also want to have our hands on some things.
Of course.
Yeah. So
like if, for example, if Seagull, I've already created the staff PD. If Seagull has access to this folder, she can go into my PearDeck training and she can open up my PearDeck that I showed you guys yesterday and she could present it on her own. So you don't have to be the one that made the PearDeck in order to present it. So this is what it looks like when you actually go to present, guys. Let's say I went and I made this and I am ready to show it to my kids. What I'm gonna do, again, is open up my Google Drive, make sure this PowerPoint is open, make sure my add-on is here. And then on the right side, you wanna make sure require student logins is turned on and it's in green, just like this. This means that students will be required to log in with their email account. That is crucial because otherwise they'll just go in as anonymous and be able to write whatever they want. So you've gotta make sure this is on. And then you're gonna click start. You can decide here if you want it to be student-paced where the kids can go through the PowerPoint on their own time, or if you want it to be live with you. If it's your live classes, I would strongly encourage you to do it instructor-paced so the kids can't skip ahead and look at answers or not be on the same thing as you. And so you can lock their screens if you need to. So I'm gonna choose instructor-paced because let's say this is my 10 o'clock class. And like I showed you guys yesterday during the training, it's going to launch their presentation. Now there's 2 ways that the kids can join. The way that I did it for you guys. Sorry, my internet's being interesting. The way that I did it for you guys was to send you the link, and that's in 8th grade ELA. That's what we're gonna do is send the link to kids in our Zoom chat. So when they log on for their Zoom at 9:40 for class, At 9:42, we'll say, hey guys, good morning. Your link for your PearDeck is inside the chat. Go click on it. But they can also use the code, so they can go to joinpd.com and they can enter this code, TBEIV, and it's the exact same thing. So that is total teacher preference if you want to tell them to do this with a code, or if you click right here, give students a link, it just copied it. And now in an email or in a Zoom or whatever, I can send it to my kids and send them that student link. Either one is fine. And then when you're clicking through, obviously, like I did yesterday, this is you showing, and this is what's going to appear on their screens, except for here, they'll have a little text box like you guys saw yesterday off to the right side where they can put in their responses. I'm not going to go through this piece as much because I did it with you guys a lot yesterday. If you guys have separate questions, let me know. But you are going to want, you know, your dashboard open, like I showed you guys. So whether it's your phone, a second device, a second monitor, whatever you're using. I like my phone. I think it's super easy. Just go to PearDeck.com and open up this session, and I'll show you what that's like. So right now I have this live session going with kids, right? So I'm going to go to PearDeck.com and sessions, and I can see, oh, let me refresh this. I can see that right now at 1:48, I have this live session going with you guys. Currently it's unnamed, so I want to, oh, you can't rename it when it's going. At the end you can, oh, there it is, name the session. So I want to name this PearDeck 201. If it was your class, you'd call it, you know, cohort 802 and 82220 or whatever you want to call it. Rename it. Okay, so you've got this going with your class. It's live, etc. When I'm done with that class, I can either end it right in here by clicking the end button. That's one way to do it, the easiest way to do it, but you can also just do it from here and end session when I'm done with that class. And now I can get their grades out. I can export to spreadsheet like I showed yesterday, and I can see all of their responses after the session is over. Pretty crucial here. You have to decide this for yourself as a teacher. Do you want to do one session all day that has all 120 kids' responses in it, which you can do to have the same link all day? However, whenever you're looking at live responses coming in, it's going to be all their responses all day in there, which can be hard to sift through. So let's say I want to do a new session for each class so I can grade them separately, I can see their answers separately. You do not want to reopen the same session because that'll be the same link for those kids. Once I'm done with 802, if I've got 803 next block, I am going to repeat the same thing that I did before. So I'm going to, out of the way. I'm going to find my same PowerPoint and open it for 803. I'm going to make sure that my add-on is open. And then when I click start lesson and do this again, it will generate a new link and a new code and will show up as a new session in PearDeck. So again, don't end and reopen that same session in there if you don't want all 120 kids' responses. If you want a new one each class, you go in and start a lesson for each class that you want through the add-on right here. Does that make sense?
Did you go over that yesterday or no? Because I'm worried about part of it. Okay. So
I did not go over that yesterday.
I'm worried about my people that aren't on here.
I told them I was going to go over all this today. But I have this recorded. Macaulay did ask me if I was recording, so I can.
That's right. Oh, that's right. Okay, beautiful. So hopefully they'll all be watching it. I'm gonna.
Yeah. So if you guys are all watching, hopefully you should be.
Hopefully. All right.
This is the recording. Okay. So just a reminder with self-paced, guys, if they're on self-paced, they can skip ahead in the slides and go back. So if you had a multiple choice and the kid was doing it at 7 o'clock at night, he could just probably go find the answer in your PowerPoint and change his answer. Which is why I think the live piece is also super crucial and making sure that you can do that with them. So just think about designing your content and your PowerPoints for exactly how you're going to do it, whether it's self-paced or whether it's live with the teacher. I think that was all. Any other questions on creating and launching a PearDeck session?
Sorry. Is this going to be shared into the drive just so I can like rewatch it whenever I need to?
I can do that. I will, absolutely. I'll share the recorded link with everybody and I'll put it in our ELA department folder too.
Awesome. Thank you.
Anybody else? Cool. All right. Well, thanks for joining, guys. If you have any other questions, obviously feel free to reach out to me. I'm not a pro at this yet, but I do know a decent amount from playing around with it. The best way to do this is to just get in there and start messing with it. So, but if you have questions in the meantime, let me know.